I think for me, I think many parents think of, like Ridge said, as class. These are what's required of me. How is that going to be laid out? We have to get out of that mindset of, these are the mandated time. We're trying to make attractive programs that we invite people to. So me as a parent, that's hard to tell, my young person, hey, you have to go to this. Well, no, I don't have to go, So that mentality, I think, is going to be a hurdle. Implementing this new program is looking at this from a new perspective. For many parents, and that's one of the things I worry about. Kids are like, well, I'm done now. That old mentality of confirmation. Moving forward, we need to show that message, tell that message of what we're proposing here.
And it reminds me, Jesse, when you said that, I used to teach. I was a theology teacher at a high school for a couple of years, and I would, obviously teach about the faith. And often my students would come to me and say, hey, Mrs. Z, what you said, that's really great. And actually, I would, belong to a church like that. I would want to be in a relationship with a Jesus like that, but I don't experience that when I'm in my parish. There's a disconnect between what the faith says and what they as young people experience. And I think that that's what we're we are merging those things together and saying, no, this is who we really are, and we're going to be this for you because it is who we are. It is the core of who we are, is to be Christ-like and to be family to one another. And that is a tangible reality for you, not something that you have to really, just talk yourself into as a young person, that you feel that you know that. I think that is so important. It just really is, It's changing, as you said, Jesse, from going to hoops to making it meaningful. That these aren't hoops to jump through anymore, but this is really meaningful and will add meaning to not only your life, but who you are, because that's what Christ does. Not what we do as ministers, but what Christ does, as a person within all of us. So
I think to be super practical, right, as a parent, and Jesse, both of us were parents of many, we have big families, and we know that this time of life when they get into, I know even when they're younger, but especially in middle school, there's a lot vying for their attention, right? There's sports, there's clubs, there's what other activities, their friends. And so very practically, I always want to know, like, what is the commitment and how much time and where do I have to be when and how is that going to look like? And when we talk about parent support, where is it? Where do I find that? We talk about that we want this to be very family-based at the same time and creating community. So where are those tools for me? Like I could feel as a parent I'm not connected to my parish. I barely go there. I don't know my pastor. I don't have a relationship. So we just need to know, like, where are these tools, right? Just the very practical basics, right? Where do I find this information? How do I access it? Who do I talk to? Will we get to meet these people, right? And then how do we go about really forming that community? And I know that there is that balance of of everything outside and, your faith life, right? But just being able to kind of merge that together to know that this is a priority too, right? But that it has to be an easy priority, right? We don't want all these hoops to go through. So how do we make it kind of as easy as possible, but yet it is a sacrifice, right? Like you follow Christ, it is a sacrifice, so just kind of bringing that all together too.
Yeah. So practically, they could go to the Diocese of Erie website, eriercd.org, and see each year broken down, including the parent component. So what does that look like? What is the why, the ideal? How can it be lived out? Now, obviously, that's going to look different for every parish. It's not a cookie cutter thing. That we're asking parishes to meet the needs of their people, right? And that we have 13 counties in this diocese. I mean, it is literally a quarter of the state of Pennsylvania. And so that people are going to live that out differently, and we understand, and we're going to walk with parishes and figuring out how they can do that in the best way. But if you want the black and white nitty gritty, go to the diocesan website. Also, please, I would tell every parent to, if you're not already praying for your pastor, your DREs, your catechists, your volunteers, your leaders, please start doing that. you know? And if that you have thoughts, please pray about those, pray about how does Jesus, want to walk with me? How does Jesus want to walk with this parish? What is he calling my parish to? And then please share those thoughts after your prayer, with your DRE, with your pastor. I'm really excited for this. Please sign me up to volunteer for this year. I mean, that would be such a gift to anybody,
yeah.
you know what I mean? To hear about that, that I'm invested as a parent, I'm invested as a grandparent, as just a person at the parish. I want to be involved. I want to support you. Please tell me that the best way I can do that. I think that would be a question we would want on everybody's heart, is to go to prayer, ask where Jesus is calling you, where he's calling you to use your gifts, and how to then approach your pastor, approach your leader and say, how can I, best do this now going forth at this parish, and start creating a vibrant faith community. And we're not, again, saying that those don't exist in this diocese. Right. There are really vibrant faith communities, but we want to invite more people into those, right? And we want more people to be seen and known, and especially our young people, So practically, that's what I can give you. Now, I do know that, again, 9th grade would be confirmation year, and that there would be requirements. We have requirements in our diocese right now that you have to attend before confirmation. That will still be the case. You can't just show up 9th grade year and say, hello. But because, again, the whole point is not to just jump through a hoop of getting a sacrament, right? But that sacrament's a gift, and it becomes a really powerful gift when you know the person of Christ, God, the Spirit, right? That you understand and you can see that beauty, and know that beauty, again, both intellectually and your heart. And so we want students to be prepared to receive that amazing gift of the sacrament of confirmation, so that's still in play. It's showing up, again, during those, again, amazing edge years, as we just said. They're going to be great. So coming those edge years, experiencing them.
But then our young people also have the opportunity, once they're confirmed, to get more involved in the liturgical life of the church.
Right.
So that's going to be a really beautiful aspect to all of this, is that so many, once again, young people are just sitting in the pews, and they're just existing there. So this is going to, if I remember my confirmation year, I was taking communion to this homebound lady, and it meant so much to me. I learned the Our Father in Spanish. She only spoke Spanish. And those memories looking back, that engaged faith, were important. And that was all based around the sacrament. So I think for our young people, this is going to give them those opportunities that they desire, that they can put their faith into work and be sent out.